Hello to everyone in the HousingWire community. I'm the Basis Point founder, Julian Hebron, and welcome to HousingStack Live. This is a live demo collaboration between HousingWire and the Basis Point, launched at the Gathering Annual Conference this year, and it's where we take a look at key parts of the mortgage tech stack by category. Today, we're covering the state of mortgage servicing fintech with special guests Tavant and Sundeep Mathur, and we're going to take a look at their voice AI that's powering multiple use cases in servicing. And before I tee up Mathur and Tavant's demo, let me just set the stage really quick. So servicing is the bigger opportunity between originations and servicing. Originations has been very reliable for 30 years at 2.02 trillion average fundings per year over those years. But at 14.5 trillion outstanding in mortgage servicing, it is the bigger opportunity, and it's where the most potential to modernize has been happening in these last couple of years. And it's critical because this is where you get all the time with the customer if we're doing this right, and if the software like Tavant helps build is powering us in the correct ways. You've got the borrower for between 1 and 12 months in a long lead purchase cycle on the origination side, and you can have them for life on the servicing side if you're doing all of these things you see on the screen here well, powered by software like Tavant. So customer care and hardship are the main things that we are going to focus on today with Tavant, amongst all the things that you see here in the middle of the slide. These are the areas that have the most cost impact for servicers and the most upside for customer experience for borrowers. But let's just take a look at the cost. If you look at this pie chart from MBA, you can see that the top three costs are helping with customer service, helping with loss mitt, and of course, systems themselves. The basis points thesis here is that the system cost probably stays the same because these last few years have been about modernization of servicing systems. And only now, and especially with AI coming in to help with customer service, both in performing loans as well as customer service in the hardship scenarios, including loss mitigation, where that time for the servicers can be so burdensome and costly. This is where the costs start to come down. And as you're going to see from Sundeep's demo of voice AI and customer service for servicers, what happens, as I just said, is that the servicers can go way faster and the consumers also just get a much better experience. And one of the things that I think you're going to see here is that multi-channel is so critical. The borrower can start anywhere. They can start on the web. They can start with chat. They can go over to voice AI. They can maybe run out of time that night when they're at home trying to figure out a question they have about servicing, and then they go over to their phone and they can do it 24/7, and the voice AI will help them. Sundeep's going to walk us through all of that. So Sundeep, I'm going to turn it over to you. You can take it away, and then we're going to come back and we're going to run through some questions together. So with that, let's have you show us voice AI and customer service for Tavant.
Great. Thank you so much, Julian. We're so happy to be here. Really appreciate the time. So, today I wanted to just focus on a couple of things before we jump into the demo. I wanted to start with why are we doing this, right? How do the AI technology is evolving so fast, and every industry is out there trying to figure out how do we leverage AI within our industries. And I think that as a lending industry, we also need to do the same thing. And one of the things that we're trying to do at Tavant is to help our customers figure out where can they get ROI by applying artificial intelligence. And the demo that you're going to, and so we've kind of come up with a process to be able to help customers to do that. And one of the things that we've done today, what you're going to see today, the demo is all around servicing. And so what you're going to basically see is, I'm the borrower talking directly to an agentic AI customer service rep who's going to help me through payments and a refinance, and going to help me through that process. So we built this proof of concept, to basically help customers to see the possibility, the art of the possible with artificial intelligence. And so this is just the beginning. We'll kind of walk you through a few different scenarios, but that's kind of what we're going to do today is this AI proof of concept that we've created. So let me go ahead and jump into the demo itself. Sorry. Okay. So basically what you have here is this is our customer service portal, and we have a few different scenarios. I'm going to jump into the first scenario here, and this is basically a borrower who has to make a payment. And so we're going to jump into the demo.
Hey, Jerry, since your payment is due tomorrow, let's head over to the payment section to sort it out.
Like I said, this is a typical customer service portal, servicing portal. On the left-hand side, you have a series of different options. The AI has recognized that this borrower has a payment coming up. And by looking at the servicing data, I know that, so the AI has realized that they need to go ahead and make a payment. And so this on the right-hand side is basically the AI, which we can either chat with it or we can talk to it in kind of a conversational mode, and we can turn it off. We can have it not talk to us or not. But I'm going to basically have a conversational interaction with it. Why is my payment $1,500? It seems like my payment has changed.
It looks like your payment amount might have changed due to an escrow adjustment. This can happen when there are changes in your property taxes or insurance premiums.
So as you can see, it's trying to emphasize, trying to explain what the changes occurred and taking me over to the document center where I could look at, escrow balance or an escrow reconciliation. But I have a fixed rate loan. Why would my payment change?
Your monthly payment might change even with a fixed rate loan if there are adjustments to your escrow account. This usually happens due to changes in your property taxes or insurance premiums, which affect the escrow balance.
Wait, it looks like my taxes went up by $100. So as it goes through, it's looking at all of the information that we've provided to it and responses that we've given to it. We've fed it a servicing policy. We've fed it all the information around escrow analysis. So it's going to go ahead and respond back as to why I had a payment increase and that it was a tax increase. Okay. It looks like my taxes went up by $100.
It looks like your property taxes have increased, which can affect your escrow balance and potentially your monthly payment. You can view the latest tax documents for more details.
Well, how do I lower my taxes? So it's going to do the best it can to kind of help me through this. But one of the things I'm trying to show you is that as the borrower gets frustrated, one of the hooks that we built in, so it's going to give me an analysis of how I can go around lowering my taxes. But what I'm going to do in this is increasingly kind of
lowering your property taxes can be a bit challenging.
I'm going to shut off the voice for a second as we talk through this. So one of the things I'm going to show in this scenario is as the borrower gets more frustrated, we built in the ability to escalate this to a human. And so as I get more frustrated with the responses, I want to talk to a human. It'll ask all for me to escalate it to a human.
3. Improve your property. Sometimes making certain improvements can qualify you for tax credits. 4. Consult a tax professional. They might identify deductions or credits you haven't considered.
So one other scenario that I wanted to show the team was the idea here is that as we recognize that this borrower, so that was a payment scenario, but if we recognize that the borrower is ready for a refinance or potentially a HELOC loan, the AI would recognize that and walk you through.
Hey, David, welcome back. With your payment due in a few days, are you here to make a payment?
No, I was interested in refinancing my loan.
Hey, David, I noticed you've shown interest in refinancing. Would you like to explore your refinancing options and see how much you could save?
Yes, what information do you need?
Great. Let's get started with pre-qualification. Can you please provide your annual income, monthly debt, estimated property value, estimated credit score, and employment status?
So as I go through this, I'll basically be able to hit, yeah, my annual income is 95,000 and my debts are about, I have a $500 car payment, a $300 student loan payment, and my credit cards are about $1,000. So I grouped all that into one statement, but it's able to parse, the AI is able to parse exactly what I'm saying out, and I could have responded to more.
Thanks for sharing your income and debts, David.
So it's parsed that thing out, figured out which part of it was my income, plopped it into the income piece, calculated my debts by adding up those figures, and now it's going to walk me through the property value, credit score, employment. So it's just showing you that we're able to, in the oral conversation, we actually pluck information out of that, pre-fill these applications, and the AI is able to figure out, taking you through this process step by step. And one of the things that we're adding into this is really this interaction ability for the AI to interact more closely with the borrower and to get them comfortable by using the technology this way.
Yeah, and Sundeep, this is great. So I'm going to pick up where you left off on some of the Q&A. So leave it on this screen if you would. If I've got this right, it's a couple questions embedded in one to start us off. It's not just voice, it's chat, and it's happening both at the same time. So people can do chat or voice. And as you said in that last scenario, I was watching the main screen populate. So the borrower could then take over. They don't have to use the chat bot. They could use voice or chat, or they can just say, once these fields on the left in the main body are populated, they can just say, see my rates. Is that correct?
That's right. That's absolutely right. So this is more of a transition state, right, where people are used to filling stuff into forms. Yep. So we wanted to be able to have the AI layer on top of that. But kind of where things are evolving already are to a much more conversational thing, right, where you're interviewing the borrower, capturing that information in an oral conversation, and calling APIs in the back without the potential need for forms like this. But we want to get everybody comfortable with adopting these kind of technology, and so this is kind of the layering of AI on top of the current state.
One of the things I love about this last use case is that it can be any of the above. And on a related follow-up question, I get jammed up right when I'm in the middle of this. I have to take a call, help my kid. I come back 3 hours later on my phone. Is all this stuff still going to be here?
Absolutely. Absolutely. So one of the key things is that, in this conversation, we are basically going to summarize the conversation and keep both the summary as well as action items. So the next time the borrower calls, we kind of reload that. And the system remembers the fact that you called 3 times. This is what we talked about, and this is where we are in the process. If you think about these agentic solutions have a goal. They have a mission in life, and they're trying to take you through this process. But you as the borrower, you can take it into any conversation. I ran out of time, but I can actually demo this thing and say, respond to me in Spanish. I can ask it any question about servicing, any question I want about lending, Freddie, Fannie. But it'll kind of bring me back towards this. Okay, we're trying to get you pre-approved. Take me through that process.
Thank you. And a couple more questions. We're getting a little close on time, but I want to do one quick one on what you talked about. I'm getting frustrated. I want to get to a human. I know we had to move to the next use case. Is that real time? So if I'm ready right then, and I'm like, hey, my loan agent, Sundeep, I need to talk to Sundeep or somebody on the team, am I being transferred at that time?
So the way that we built this demo was that, since we have your contact info, we built it such that, the human would kind of call you back, and the system will provide you a security code. And then the human calls you back and says, okay, I'm calling from XYZ lender, and my code is this. And so now you're able to know that the person calling you is in fact legit. But yeah, absolutely. I mean, absolutely. Building in a real-time transfer is totally doable. And we do envision the applications would have a kind of a user side, right? An internal view of exactly what's happening here. And so, so that's also part of kind of what exists today. But yeah, they both be in AI enabled.
That's my last question, which is when borrowers, excuse me, when customer service reps are on their side and they're getting stumped, are you also developing AI to help them?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, to my point, in the beginning was that there is so much powerful usage of AI. We, as industry people, have to figure out can we get that ROI? But there are tremendous opportunities. And so the most basic one that, frankly, in the last 6 months it's just matured, where it's sort of a straight, which is internal users using the knowledge bots to be able to answer questions about product pricing, policy, process, and we can tune these things to be able to respond based on the CSR's knowledge, right? If it's an experienced person, we can give you more bulleted stuff. If you're a novice CSR, we've also built this borrower simulator where we can give the borrower simulator different scenarios, and now they're basically testing the CSR. You're training the CSR on multitude of scenarios. So rather than you hired a new person, you put them through a few weeks of training, you put them on the phone, somebody's listening in. Now you could put them through a week's worth of hundreds of scenarios where the AI is pretending to be the borrower, and then there's one AI that's kind of coaching them. And now this person, so that borrower simulator is another very powerful use case, but we don't want to we're not trying to create something that everyone has to use. We're trying to find for different lenders, where is the ROI? Where are they going to find value in AI? And that's what we're kind of focused on, is because different folks are different. And we want to apply the AI to where it's going to deliver ROI for our customer in a safe and compliant way. I think that's the second part of our sort of mission here, is that in our highly regulated industry, we have to be able to demonstrate no disparate impact and fairness, and the technology exists to be able to do those things. So anyway, leave it at that.
And I think that Tavant is always been a leader, not just in building the tech, but as you say, building it specifically for the companies. So everybody, Sundeep Mathur, Tavant, demonstrating the latest in servicing voice AI and overall agentic AI. And we hope you come back and join HousingWire and the Basis Point and do a HousingStack live follow-up, because we know this stuff is evolving very, very quickly. Thanks, Sundeep.
Thank you so much. Really appreciate it.
And to close out today's HousingStack live session with Tavant, I just want to reiterate a couple of key points, which is that Tavant is building something in servicing that enables servicers to meet consumers where and when they are at any time of day or night on any platform, and using both voice AI as well as humans in the loop. This is something that we talk about with AI all the time. It's so much harder to do in servicing, and Tavant has the big lender, big servicer experience to get this right. So big shout to Sundeep and team at Tavant for upping the game in mortgage servicing fintech. Thanks to HousingWire for hosting HousingStack Live with the Basis Point. And we're just so excited to drive the industry forward with these servicing innovations.